Hey, what's up y'all? I'm back with another video. A few months ago, I made a video showcasing a handful of reintroduced items as well as where to farm them and how much gold I've made selling them, and figured I'd come back with a part 2. If you aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, back in update 10.1.7, Blizzard decided to reintroduce a large quantity of items back to the game that had been removed with the Cataclysm's open world revamp, and as a result, made them reobtainable. Some of these items, such as the Frostmane short sword, are still listing for over $500,000 gold, even 9 months after its reintroduction. In this video, I decided to pull together 5 more farms for reintroduced items that y'all can do before their prices hit rock bottom. Anyways, let's just get right into the video. The first farm that I wanted to showcase is located here in the Weeping Cave in the Western Plaguelands. The undead mobs in this cave have a chance to drop the pattern for the Living Breastplate, which usually lists for just short of 200,000 gold in my realm. Near the Krastanovian NPCs, there's also a chance for a chest to spawn, but not like it matters since it'll probably contain something stupid like the Delwyn trousers, which might as well be vendor trash. While I was getting footage, I was lucky enough to get several of the patterns to drop, and I've been able to sell one of them in the 3 weeks between recording the footage for this video and editing it, which is actually pretty good. Now, the second farm that I wanted to show y'all are the crag boars in Morogh, and I know, you're probably thinking, Construct, why on earth do you have me killing random boars in a starter zone? I mean, this isn't another crab video, is it? And I promise you, it's far from it. The Lumberjack Jerkin is a common quality item which these list for over $500,000 gold that is only obtainable from the scarred crag boars located here in Morogh. Now, these boars aren't quest mobs, and by the time the average player reaches this part of the zone, they're level 10 and ready to begin their Battle for Azeroth time walking campaign, meaning that the average player is typically sidetracked away from seeing these mobs. I mean, who's going out of their way to kill random boars in the middle of nowhere? That would be crazy, right? While recording, I was able to acquire several pieces and have been able to offload one of them for around 120,000 gold between recording and editing, most likely from someone looking to flip for a higher price. The next farm that I wanted to showcase is located here in the Tirisfal Glades, being the Scarlet Crusaders and the several pieces that drop from them. The first piece, which drops exclusively from the Scarlet Defenders around the area, is the standard issue shield, which typically sees listings for around $250,000 gold on my server, which is pretty good considering this is a popular questing area. I've been able to farm several of these and have sold quite a few for around 20 to 30,000, seeing as they're actually pretty good transmog pieces for someone looking to dress up like one of the real good guys of Azeroth. The next item that you can farm from this area is Malrache's Cape, which typically sells for around 30 to 40,000 gold on its own, seeing as it looks pretty similar to any other cloak you would get from questing in a low-level classic zone. The cloak only drops from Captain Malrach, the NPC at the end of the pathway located inside the tower, and has a 1.6% drop rate, so good luck getting it. Fortunately for me, I've been able to acquire one, which I have yet to sell, but am expecting to offload near the start of the next expansion. Moving to the northern Barrens, the next farm I wanted to show y'all are the Razor Manes for several incredibly rare pieces, which you can find here in the northern Barrens. The first item, dropping from the Elder Mystic Razor Snout, is the Harvest Cloak, which lists for anywhere between 6 million gold and gold cap itself at any given time on average. Seeing as the item has to compete with just about every other classic green, and having an increasingly low drop rate seeing as it's an old world unique, it's no wonder why the item has such a high price point. I was actually lucky enough to get one to drop while making this video, and like I said earlier, while I haven't sold it yet, I'm looking to make between 2 and 4 million gold from the item before the next expansion rolls around. The next item that has a chance to drop from the Elder Mystic Razor Snout is the Adept's Gloves, which lists for a much more modest $500,000 gold. Now, while not nearly as impressive as its Harvest Cloak counterpart, I would still be pretty happy seeing one of these to drop, as $500,000 gold for some random green from 2 decades ago is pretty good, but that's just my opinion, so take it for what it is. There are 2 more unique items that drop from the razor snout mobs around the area, however they are bind on pickup, meaning that they're only useful for their unique appearances, not for gold making. So who really cares, right? The last farm that I wanted to put y'all on is a cult classic, quite literally, being the Twilight base camp, which you can find located here in Silithus. The funniest part of this farm is that it's actually been nerfed to oblivion over the years, between reduced drop rates and reduced spawn rates, as well as just a general disinterest in the farm over the years. It's no wonder why the price of glorious and jade pieces have slowly begun to crawl back. That being said, however, you can use the reduced will to farm to your advantage, seeing as with the 10.1.7 update, there have been several items reintroduced to the loot tables of the mobs in the area. The notable items include pieces of the Twilight cultist set, which all list for 6-digit prices. The first and most valuable piece of the set is the Twilight cultist mantle, which sees an average listing price of just short of 400,000 gold on my realm, which isn't too shabby for a piece of gear that would typically get auto-vendored using World of Warcraft's in-game sell junk feature. The next piece that drops from here is the Twilight cultist robe, which lists for just short of 300,000, also making it a pretty good hit. The last piece that has a chance to drop from the Twilight base camp mobs is the Twilight cultist cowl, which usually lists for just under 200,000 gold on my server, meaning that even if you're lowballing on your drops, you're still looking to make a pretty penny, especially off of resellers who think they know ball. Now, while farming these pieces, it's incredibly important to remember that they are technically vendor trash pieces, meaning that if you aren't careful, it'll be extremely easy to clear them from your bags by mistake, losing them and hundreds of thousands of gold in the process, which would be pretty lame in my opinion. Now, while you can kill the man, Blizzard, you can't kill the idea. Every time you kick down Silithus, it manages to find a way to crawl back, and I believe that reintroducing the Twilight cultist pieces is that way. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. I spent a lot of time doing research for this video, as well as future reintroduced item type videos, so if you want to stay updated, I'd recommend hitting that subscribe button, especially since it plays an awesome animation when you click on it. Go ahead, click it. See? Wasn't that cool? As I love saying so much, my official Discord server is open, and if you'd like to pop in and chat with other like-minded individuals, there's a short PowerPoint presentation in the description below where you'll be able to learn about me and my guild with a Discord link at the end. I hope you learned something from the video, and with that all being said, as always, peace.